Marcus Wellington sat in his black Mercedes car. The leather seats were warm and soft. His expensive suit still smelled like the fancy perfume from the Christmas party. He had just left his company's big celebration at the Grand Hotel. The party was full of rich people, good food, and expensive wine. Marcus was tired. He wanted to go home to his big house. His wife, Sarah, was waiting for him. She was probably wrapping the last Christmas gifts for their 2 children. Tomorrow was Christmas Day. The kids would wake up early and run to the Christmas tree. They would find many expensive presents waiting for them. The snow was falling heavy outside. The windshield wipers moved back and forth. They made a soft sound in the quiet night. Marcus looked at his gold watch. It was almost midnight. Most people were at home with their families. The streets were empty and dark. Marcus pressed the gas pedal. He wanted to get home fast. The warm car felt good after the cold wind outside. He thought about his bonus from work. It was smaller this year, only $50,000. Last year, it was $70,000. He felt upset about the money. How could he buy the new boat he wanted? The GPS on his dashboard was talking. In 200 feet, turn right, it said. But Marcus was thinking about money. He was not listening well. When the GPS said turn right, Marcus turned left instead. He drove down a street he had never seen before. The neighborhood looked different. The houses were small and old. Some windows were broken. The streetlights were dim and yellow. This was not like his rich neighborhood. His neighborhood had big houses, green grass, and clean streets. This place looked poor and sad. Marcus realized he was lost. He stopped the car and looked at the GPS screen. He pressed some buttons to find a new way home. The screen was bright in the dark car. He tried to read the street names. They were all new to him. While Marcus looked at the GPS, his car lights shined on something. Behind a tall apartment building, near some big trash cans, something was moving. Marcus looked up from his phone. He saw a small shape. It was a person. A very small person. Marcus rubbed his eyes. Maybe he was too tired. Maybe the wine from the party was making him see things. But when he looked again, the small person was still there. It was a little girl. She looked very young, maybe 6 or 7 years old. She was alone in the dark, cold night. The little girl was looking through the trash cans. She was moving things around. She would pick up something, look at it, then put it back. Sometimes she would put something in a small bag she carried. Marcus watched her with wide eyes. He could not believe what he was seeing. Why was a little girl alone on Christmas Eve? Why was she looking through trash? Where were her parents? Marcus had many questions. He felt confused and worried. The girl was wearing a thin jacket. It was too big for her small body. The jacket looked old and dirty. She had no hat or gloves. Her small hands looked red from the cold. She was shaking from the cold wind. Marcus looked at his own warm car. The heater was working well. His expensive coat was in the back seat. His leather gloves were on the dashboard. He felt warm and safe. But the little girl outside looked cold and alone. The girl moved to another trash can. She opened the lid and looked inside. She reached in with her small arms. She pulled out a plastic bottle. She looked at it carefully. Then she put it in her bag. She did the same thing with other items. A piece of metal, some paper, an old shoe. Marcus watched for 10 minutes. The girl worked hard. She was very careful with each item she found. She was not just playing. She was looking for something important. But what could be important in the trash? Marcus thought about his own children. His son Tommy was 8 years old. His daughter Lisa was 6. Right now they were sleeping in their warm beds. They had nice pajamas and soft blankets. Their rooms were full of toys and books. Tomorrow they would get more presents than they could count. But this little girl was alone in the cold. She was looking through trash on Christmas Eve. Marcus felt his heart beating fast. Something was very wrong with this picture. The girl found something in the trash. It looked like half of a sandwich. She held it up to the streetlight. She looked at it for a long time. Then she smelled it. Marcus saw her face in the light. She looked very hungry. She looked like she wanted to eat the old sandwich. Marcus felt sick in his stomach. A little child was so hungry that old food from the trash looked good to her. He thought about the big dinner at the Christmas party. There was so much food, expensive meat, fresh fish, sweet cakes. People ate a little and left the rest. So much food was thrown away. The girl put the sandwich in her bag. She closed the trash can and moved to the next one. She kept working. She did not stop to rest. She did not complain about the cold. She just kept looking through the trash. Marcus sat in his warm car. He knew he should drive away. This was not his problem. He did not know this girl. He had his own family to think about. His wife was waiting for him. He should go home and forget about what he saw. But Marcus could not start the car. His hand stayed on the steering wheel. He kept watching the little girl. Something inside him would not let him drive away. Maybe it was the Christmas spirit. Maybe it was his heart telling him to care. The girl moved to the last trash can. She opened it and looked inside. This time she found something that made her smile. It was small and shiny, maybe a coin or a piece of jewelry. She held it up to the light. Her face looked happy for the first time. Marcus made a decision. He turned off the car engine. He opened the door. The cold air hit his face. He took his expensive coat from the back seat. He put it on and walked toward the little girl. He did not know what he would say. He did not know what he would do. But he knew he could not drive away and leave her alone in the cold night. Something was pulling him toward her. Something stronger than his fear or worry. The snow crunched under his expensive shoes. Each step took him closer to a life he had never seen before. Each step took him away from his comfortable world. He was about to learn something that would change his life forever. Marcus walked slowly toward the little girl. His expensive shoes made noise on the wet ground. The snow was getting heavier. Big white flakes fell from the dark sky. They melted when they touched his warm face. The little girl heard his footsteps. She looked up quickly. Her big brown eyes were full of fear. She stepped back from the trash can. Her small body was shaking. Maybe from cold. Maybe from being scared. Marcus stopped walking. He did not want to frighten her more. He raised his hands to show he was not dangerous. He tried to smile in a kind way. But his heart was beating fast too. He had never been in a situation like this before. "Hello," Marcus said softly. His voice sounded loud in the quiet night. "Are you okay?" The little girl did not answer. She looked at his nice clothes. She looked at his expensive watch. She looked at his shiny shoes. Then she looked at her own clothes. Her jacket was torn in 2 places. Her shoes had holes in them. She looked down at the ground. Marcus came a little closer. Now he could see her face better. She was very young, maybe younger than he first thought. Her cheeks were red from the cold. Her lips looked blue. She was shivering more now. "What is your name?" Marcus asked. He kept his voice gentle and quiet. The girl looked at him again. She seemed to be thinking. Should she run away? Should she talk to this strange man? She held her small bag close to her chest. "Sophia," she whispered. Her voice was so quiet that Marcus almost did not hear it. "Sophia," Marcus repeated. "That is a beautiful name. My name is Marcus." Sophia nodded but did not say anything else. She looked around. Maybe she was looking for a way to run. The apartment buildings were tall and dark. Most windows had no lights. Everyone was sleeping. Marcus looked at what Sophia had collected in her bag. He saw the sandwich, the bottle, some pieces of metal, and other small items. He did not understand why a little girl would want these things. "Sophia, why are you here alone?" Marcus asked. "Where are your parents?" Sophia's eyes filled with tears. She looked even more sad when he asked about her parents. She wiped her nose with her small hand. The hand was very dirty. "No, Mama, no, Papa," Sophia said. Her English was not perfect. She had an accent, maybe Spanish. They in heaven now. Marcus felt his heart break a little. This little girl had no parents. She was an orphan. That explained why she was alone. But it did not explain why she was looking through trash. Who takes care of you? Marcus asked. Abuela, Sophia said. My grandmother. She is sick. Very sick. Sophia started to cry. Small tears fell down her cold cheeks. She tried to wipe them away, but more tears came. Marcus wanted to help her, but he did not know how. Is that why you are here? Marcus asked. Because your grandmother is sick? Sophia nodded. She needs medicine, but we have no money. I look for things to sell. Maybe someone buy them. Then I buy medicine for Abuela. Now Marcus understood. Sophia was not looking for food for herself. She was trying to find things to sell. She wanted to help her sick grandmother. This little girl was trying to save someone she loved. Marcus felt ashamed. He had been upset about his bonus being smaller. He worried about buying a new boat. But this child was trying to find money for medicine. She was looking through trash to save her grandmother's life. How old are you, Sophia? Marcus asked. 7, she said. I am 7 years old. 7 years old, the same age as Marcus's daughter Lisa. But Lisa was home in a warm bed. She had everything she needed. She had parents who loved her and took care of her. She never had to worry about money or medicine or food. Sophia, you should not be out here alone, Marcus said. It is dangerous and it is very cold. I know, Sophia said, but Abuela is very sick. She cannot get up. She has fever. She coughs all the time. I am scared she will die. More tears came from Sophia's eyes. Marcus felt tears in his own eyes too. He had never met anyone so young who had to face such big problems. His own children worried about toys and games. Sophia worried about life and death. When did you last eat? Marcus asked. Sophia thought for a moment. Yesterday morning. I ate some bread. Just bread? Nothing else? Sophia shook her head. We save food for Abuela. She needs to be strong. Marcus could not believe it. This little girl was giving her food to her grandmother. She was starving herself to help someone else. He thought about the big dinner at his Christmas party. So much food was wasted. Here was a child who had not eaten in over a day. The wind was getting stronger. Sophia's thin jacket moved in the wind. She pulled it closer around her small body, but it did not help much. She was still shaking from the cold. Marcus took off his expensive coat. It was warm from his body heat. Here, he said, put this on. Sophia looked at the coat. It was beautiful and expensive. She had never seen such a nice coat. I cannot take it, she said. It is too nice for me. Please, Marcus said. You are cold. I have another coat in my car. Marcus did not have another coat in his car, but he could not watch this child freeze. He put the coat around Sophia's shoulders. It was much too big for her, but it was warm and thick. Sophia pulled it around herself. Thank you, she whispered. Marcus looked at his expensive watch. It was almost 1 a.m. Christmas Day had started, but there was no joy here, only a sick grandmother and a hungry child. Sophia, where do you live? Marcus asked. Sophia pointed to the tall apartment building. There, in the bottom, apartment B1. Marcus looked at the building. It was old and dirty. Some windows were broken and covered with wood. The walls had dark stains on them. This was not a safe place for a child to live. Will you show me? Marcus asked. I want to meet your grandmother. Maybe I can help. Sophia looked surprised. You want to help us? Yes, Marcus said. I want to help. Sophia studied his face. She was trying to decide if she could trust him. She was very young, but she had learned to be careful. The world had not been kind to her. You will not hurt Abuela? Sophia asked. No, Marcus said. I promise I will not hurt anyone. I just want to help. Sophia thought for another moment. Then she nodded. Okay, you can come. But we must be quiet. Other people are sleeping. Sophia put her bag over her shoulder. She started walking toward the apartment building. Marcus followed her. His expensive shoes were getting wet from the snow, but he did not care about his shoes anymore. They walked to a side door of the building. Sophia pulled out a small key from her pocket. She opened the door quietly. Inside, the hallway was dark and cold. It smelled like old food and dampness. Sophia led Marcus down some stairs. They went to the basement level. The stairs were old and broken in some places. Marcus had to be careful not to fall. He could not believe people lived in a place like this. Emmers. The bottom of the stairs, Sophia stopped at a door marked B1. She put her key in the lock. Before she opened the door, she looked at Marcus. "Please remember," she whispered. "Abuela is very sick. She might look scary, but she is good. She loves me very much." Marcus nodded. He was ready to meet the woman who had raised this brave little girl. He was ready to see how the other half of the world lived. Sophia opened the door very slowly. She did not want to make noise. The door made a small creaking sound. She looked back at Marcus and put her finger to her lips. She wanted him to be quiet too. Marcus followed Sophia into the apartment. The first thing he noticed was how cold it was inside. It was almost as cold as outside. His breath made small clouds in the air. How could anyone live in such a cold place? The apartment was very small. Marcus could see everything from where he stood. There was one main room. In the corner was a tiny kitchen with an old stove. Next to that was a small table with 2 chairs. One chair was broken. On the other side of the room was a bed. It was not a real bed. It was just a mattress on the floor. The mattress was thin and old. On top of it were some old blankets. Under the blankets, Marcus could see a person. Sophia walked quietly to the bed. "Abuela," she whispered. "I am back." The person under the blankets moved a little. Marcus heard a weak voice. "Sophia? Where did you go, mi niña?" The voice was the voice of an old woman. She sounded very sick. Her breathing was heavy and difficult. Sometimes she would cough. The cough sounded terrible. "I went to look for things to sell," Sophia said softly. "I found some good things, and I brought someone to help us." The old woman tried to sit up. It was hard for her. She moved very slowly. When she finally sat up, Marcus could see her face. Her name was Maria. She was Sophia's grandmother. Maria looked very sick. Her face was pale and thin. Her eyes were red and watery. Her gray hair was messy. She looked much older than she probably was. Sickness and worry had made her look very tired. When Maria saw Marcus, her eyes grew wide. She saw his expensive clothes. She saw his nice shoes and gold watch. She looked scared and confused. "Who is this man?" Maria asked Sophia in a worried voice. "This is Marcus," Sophia said. "He found me outside. He wants to help us." Maria looked at Marcus with suspicious eyes. Why would a rich man want to help them? Rich people did not care about poor people. Maria had learned this lesson many times in her life. "What do you want?" Maria asked Marcus. Her voice was weak, but she tried to sound strong. Marcus did not know what to say. He looked around the small apartment again. There was almost nothing here. No furniture except the table and chairs. No television. No decorations. The walls were bare and dirty. Water stains marked the ceiling. In one corner, Marcus saw something that made him feel even more sad. It was a small shrine. There were 2 photos on a tiny table. The photos showed a young man and woman. They were smiling and happy. These must be Sophia's parents. Next to the photos were some candles. Most of them had burned down to nothing. There were also some plastic flowers. They were old and faded. This was Maria's way of remembering Sophia's parents. "I want to help," Marcus finally said. "Sophia told me you are sick. She was looking for things to sell to buy medicine." Maria's face turned red. She felt embarrassed. "We do not need charity," she said. "We take care of ourselves." But as soon as she said this, Maria started coughing again. The cough was very bad. Her whole body shook. She covered her mouth with her hand. When she moved her hand away, Marcus saw blood on it. Sophia ran to her grandmother. She looked very scared. "Abuela, you are coughing blood again." Maria tried to hide her hand. She did not want Marcus to see the blood. But it was too late. Marcus had already seen it. He knew this was very serious. "How long have you been sick?" Marcus asked. 2 weeks, Maria said quietly. "Maybe 3 weeks. I am getting better." But Marcus could see she was not getting better. She was getting worse. The blood meant her sickness was very bad. She needed a doctor right away. "Have you seen a doctor?" Marcus asked. Maria laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. "Doctor? We have no money for doctor. We have no insurance. Doctors do not see poor people like us." Marcus felt shocked. In his world, when someone was sick, they went to the doctor. Money was never a problem. His family had the best insurance. They went to the best doctors. They never worried about the cost. "What about free clinics?" Marcus asked. "Or the emergency room?" "Free clinic has no medicine," Maria said. "Emergency room costs too much money. They will ask for money we do not have." Sophia sat down next to her grandmother on the thin mattress. She took Maria's hand in her small hands. "That is why I was looking for things to sell," Sophia said to Marcus. "I want to buy medicine." Marcus looked at the small bag Sophia had carried. The items inside might be worth a few dollars, maybe $10 if she was lucky. But medicine for this kind of sickness would cost much more than that. "Sophia, how long have you been taking care of your grandmother?" Marcus asked. "Since Mama and Papa died," Sophia said. 6 months ago." 6 months. This 7-year-old girl had been taking care of a sick old woman for 6 months. She had been acting like an adult when she was still just a child. "Do you go to school?" Marcus asked. Sophia looked down. "Sometimes. When Abuela is not too sick, when she can stay alone." "But mostly you stay here to take care of her?" Sophia nodded. "Abuela raised me when Mama and Papa were working. Now I take care of Abuela." Marcus felt his heart breaking. This little girl should be playing with toys. She should be learning to read and write. She should be worried about what Santa Claus would bring her. Instead, she was taking care of a dying woman. Maria started coughing again. This time the cough lasted longer. Her face turned red, then blue. She could not catch her breath. Sophia looked terrified. "Abuela!" Sophia cried. She did not know what to do. Marcus knew he had to act fast. "We need to get her to a hospital right now," he said. "No," Maria said between coughs. "No hospital. Too much money." "I do not care about money," Marcus said. "You need help now." But Maria shook her head. "They will take Sophia away. They will say I cannot take care of her. They will put her in foster care." Now Marcus understood why Maria had not asked for help. She was not just worried about money. She was worried about losing Sophia. They only had each other. If Maria went to the hospital, Sophia might be taken away by social services. "That will not happen," Marcus said. "I promise you. I will make sure. Sophia stays with you." Maria looked at Marcus with her tired eyes. "Why do you care? You do not know us." Marcus thought about the question. Why did he care? A few hours ago he was worried about his bonus and his new boat. Now he was in a cold basement apartment with a sick old woman and a hungry child. "I have children too," Marcus said. "If something happened to me, I would want someone to help them." Maria studied Marcus's face. She was trying to decide if she could trust him. Sophia was watching both of them. She hoped her grandmother would say yes. "Please, Abuela," Sophia said. "Let him help us. I am scared you will die." Tears fell from Maria's eyes. She did not want to die. She wanted to live to take care of Sophia. But she was so sick. She knew she needed help. "If I go to hospital," Maria said slowly, "what happens to Sophia?" "Sophia comes with us," Marcus said. "I will not let anyone take her away from you." Maria was quiet for a long time. She was thinking about what to do. Finally, she nodded. Okay, she whispered. Help us. Marcus felt relief. Good. We will go. Right now. I will call for an ambulance. No ambulance, Maria said quickly. Too expensive. Then I will drive you, Marcus said. My car is outside. Marcus helped Maria stand up. She was very weak. Sophia got a small bag with their important papers. She also took the photos of her parents. As they walked to the door, Marcus looked around the apartment one more time. He tried to imagine living in such a place. He tried to imagine being so poor that you could not afford medicine. He tried to imagine being 7 years old and taking care of a dying person. Marcus knew his life would never be the same after tonight. He had seen something he had never seen before. He had met people who lived in a different world. A world where children looked through trash to find money for medicine. A world where love was stronger than money. Outside, the snow was still falling. But Marcus did not feel cold anymore. He felt warm inside. He was about to save 2 lives. And maybe, in some way, they were about to save his life too. Marcus helped Maria walk to his car. Each step was difficult for her. She had to stop many times to rest. Her breathing was very heavy. Sophia held her grandmother's other arm. The little girl was trying to help too. The snow was falling harder, now. The ground was getting slippery. Marcus was worried that Maria might fall. His expensive shoes were not good for walking in snow. But he did not think about his shoes. He only thought about getting Maria to safety. When they reached the Mercedes, Maria stopped and stared. She had never seen such an expensive car. The black paint was shiny even in the dark. The silver wheels looked new and perfect. This is your car? Maria asked. Yes, Marcus said. He opened the back door. Please get in. The heater is very warm. Sophia climbed in first. She had never been in such a nice car. The seats were soft leather. Everything was clean and perfect. She ran her small hand over the smooth seat. Marcus helped Maria get into the car. She moved very slowly. When she finally sat down, she let out a long breath. The warm air felt good on her cold skin. Marcus got into the driver's seat. He started the car and turned the heater up high. He also turned on the seat warmers. Soon, the car was very warm and comfortable. Where's the nearest hospital? Marcus asked. St. Mary's, Maria said quietly. But it is very expensive. Do not worry about money, Marcus said. He put the car in drive and started down the street. As they drove through the city, Marcus looked in his mirror. He could see Sophia and Maria in the back seat. Maria was leaning against the window. Her eyes were closed. Sophia was holding her grandmother's hand. Marcus thought about his own family. Right now, his wife Sarah was probably sleeping in their warm bedroom. His children were in their comfortable beds. Their house was warm and safe. They had never worried about money or medicine or food. But in his back seat were 2 people who worried about these things every day. They lived just a few miles from his house, but their world was completely different. Sophia, Marcus said gently, tell me about your parents. Sophia looked up at him in the mirror. Mama worked at a restaurant. Papa worked at a construction company. They worked very hard. What happened to them? Sophia's eyes filled with tears again. Car accident. 6 months ago. They were driving home from work. It was raining. Another car hit them. Marcus felt his heart hurt for this little girl. She had lost both parents in one terrible day. Then she had to learn how to take care of her grandmother. No child should have to face such difficult things. Were you close to your parents? Marcus asked. Very close, Sophia said. Mama taught me to cook. Papa taught me to read. They said I was their little angel. Maria opened her eyes. Sophia is an angel, she said weakly. She takes care of me like an adult. She never complains. She never asks for toys or candy. She only thinks about helping me. Marcus looked at Sophia in the mirror again. She did not look like other 7-year-old children. Her eyes looked older. She had seen too much sadness for someone so young. What do you want to be when you grow up, Sophia? Marcus asked. A doctor, Sophia said quickly. I want to help sick people. I want to make them feel better. Marcus was not surprised by her answer. After taking care of her grandmother, Sophia understood how important doctors were. She had seen what happened when sick people could not get help. They were getting close to the hospital now. Marcus could see the big white building ahead. There were many lights in the windows. Ambulances were parked outside the emergency room. I'm scared, Maria said suddenly. Why? Marcus asked. What if they ask questions? What if they want to know about money? What if they call social services? Marcus pulled into the hospital parking lot. He found a parking space near the emergency room entrance. He turned off the car and turned around to look at Maria. I will handle everything, Marcus said. I promise you. I will not let anyone take Sophia away. But Marcus was not sure how he would keep this promise. He was a rich businessman. He knew about money and investments. He did not know about hospitals and social workers. He did not know about poor families and their problems. Marcus got out of the car and helped Maria. She was even weaker now. The trip in the car had tired her out. Sophia got out and took her grandmother's other arm. They walked slowly toward the emergency room. Doors. The doors opened automatically. Inside, the hospital was bright and warm. There were many people sitting in chairs. Some looked sick or hurt. Others looked worried. Marcus led Maria and Sophia to the front desk. A nurse in blue scrubs was sitting. Behind the desk, she was typing on a computer. She looked tired. Excuse me, Marcus said. This woman is very sick. She needs help right away. The nurse looked up at Maria. She could see that Maria was very ill. Her face was pale, and she was breathing hard. What are her symptoms? The nurse asked. She has been coughing for weeks, Marcus said. She has a fever. She is coughing up blood. The nurse's face became more serious when she heard about the blood. How long has she been coughing blood? A few days, Maria said quietly. The nurse stood up quickly. We need to get her back to a room right away. She called for another nurse to bring a wheelchair. Wait, Maria said. I need to know about money first. How much will this cost? The nurse looked at Maria with kind eyes. We will worry about money later. Right now we need to take care of you. But Maria shook her head. I have no insurance. I have no money. Maybe I should go home. Marcus stepped forward. She will not go home. I will pay for everything. Everyone looked at Marcus. The nurse, Maria, and Sophia all stared at him. They were surprised by his words. You will pay? The nurse asked. Yes, Marcus said firmly. Whatever it costs. Tests, medicine, everything. I will pay for all of it. Maria started to cry. Why would you do this? You do not know us. Marcus looked down at Sophia. The little girl was looking up at him with hope in her eyes. For the first time since he met her, she looked like she might smile. Because everyone deserves help when they are sick, Marcus said, and because Sophia loves you very much. The nurse brought the wheelchair. They helped Maria sit down. Another nurse came to push the wheelchair. She started to take Maria toward the back of the hospital. Wait, Sophia cried. She ran after the wheelchair. Where are you taking Abuela? To a room where the doctor can examine her, the nurse said kindly. Can I come with her? Sophia asked. The nurse looked at Marcus. Are you her father? Marcus looked at Sophia. He thought about the question. He was not her father, but right now he was the only adult taking care of her. I am her guardian for tonight, Marcus said. It was not exactly true, but it was not exactly false either. Then yes, you can both come back. They followed the wheelchair through long hallways. The hospital was very big. There were many rooms and many people in white coats. Everything smelled clean and sterile. They stopped at a room with a bed and many machines. The nurses helped Maria get into the bed. They put a thin gown on her and covered her with warm blankets. A doctor came into the room. He was young and looked very smart. He had kind eyes and a gentle voice. Hello, he said. I am Dr. Johnson. I am going to take care of you. The doctor listened to Maria's breathing with a stethoscope. He looked in her throat. He felt the glands in her neck. His face became more serious as he examined her. "We need to take some x-rays," Dr. Johnson said. "And we need to do some blood tests. This looks like pneumonia. It might be very serious." Sophia did not understand all the big words, but she understood that her grandmother was very sick. She held Maria's hand tightly. "Will she be okay?" Sophia asked the doctor. Dr. Johnson smiled at Sophia. "We are going to do everything we can to help her, but she is very sick. She should have come to the hospital sooner." Marcus felt guilty when he heard this. If he had found Sophia earlier, maybe Maria would not be so sick. If he had helped them weeks ago, maybe this would not have happened. "How much will all this cost?" Maria asked weakly. "Do not worry about money," Dr. Johnson said. "Your friend here has already said he will take care of everything." Maria looked at Marcus with tears in her eyes. She could not believe that a stranger would spend so much money to help her. The nurses came to take Maria for her x-rays. Sophia wanted to go with her, but she had to wait in the room. Marcus and Sophia sat in 2 chairs next to the empty bed. The room was quiet except for the sound of machines beeping in other rooms. "Why are you helping us?" Sophia asked Marcus. Marcus thought about the question. A few hours ago, he could not have answered it, but now he knew. "Because you are a very brave little girl," Marcus said. "And because your grandmother loves you very much, and because everyone needs help sometimes." Sophia smiled for the first time since Marcus had met her. It was a small smile, but it was real. "Thank you," she said quietly. Marcus smiled back. "You are welcome." They sat together and waited for Maria to come back. Marcus thought about how much his life had changed in just a few hours. He had started the evening at a fancy party. Now he was in a hospital, taking care of people he had never met before. But for the first time in years, Marcus felt like he was doing something truly important. After 2 hours, the nurses brought Maria back to the room. She looked very tired from all the tests. Dr. Johnson came in behind them. He was holding some papers with the test results. Sophia jumped up from her chair. "How is Abuela?" Dr. Johnson sat down next to the bed. His face was serious. "Your grandmother has pneumonia. It is a very bad case. The infection is spread to both of her lungs." Marcus felt his stomach drop. He could see the worry on Sophia's face. She did not understand all the medical words, but she knew it was not good news. "What does that mean?" Sophia asked. "It means she is very sick," Dr. Johnson explained gently. "Her lungs are filled with infection. That is why she has trouble breathing. That is why she coughs up blood." "Will she die?" Sophia asked. Her voice was very small and scared. Dr. Johnson looked at Maria, then back at Sophia. "We are going to do everything we can to help her. But I will not lie to you, she is very sick. If she had waited much longer to come to the hospital, it could have been too late." Sophia started to cry. She climbed onto the bed next to her grandmother. Maria was too weak to sit up, but she put her arm around Sophia. "Do not cry, mi niña," Maria whispered. "I will be okay. The doctors will make me better." But Marcus could see the fear in Maria's eyes. She was scared too. She did not want to die and leave Sophia alone in the world. "What kind of treatment does she need?" Marcus asked Dr. Johnson. "Strong antibiotics," the doctor said. "We need to give them to her through an IV. She also needs oxygen to help her breathe, and she needs to stay in the hospital for at least a week." Marcus nodded. "Whatever she needs. Money is not a problem." Dr. Johnson looked surprised. "The treatment will be very expensive, maybe $20,000 or more." "I understand," Marcus said. "Just make her better." Maria tried to sit up in the bed. "No," she said weakly. "That is too much money. I cannot let you pay so much. You cannot stop me," Marcus said with a smile. "The money is already promised." A nurse came in with a bag of medicine. She hung it on a tall pole next to the bed. She put a needle in Maria's arm and connected it to a tube. The medicine started dripping into Maria's body. Another nurse brought an oxygen mask. She put it over Maria's nose and mouth. "This will help you breathe easier," she said. With the oxygen mask, Maria could not talk easily, but she reached out and took Marcus's hand. She squeezed it gently. Her eyes said thank you. Dr. Johnson talked to Marcus outside the room. We are moving her to a regular room upstairs. She will be more comfortable there. But I want you to know how serious this is. The next 24 hours are very important. What do you mean? Marcus asked. If the antibiotics work, she will start to get better. If they do not work, or if she gets worse, we might lose her. Marcus felt cold when he heard these words. He thought about Sophia. What would happen to her if Maria died? She had no other family. She would be all alone. Doctor, what happens to the little girl if her grandmother dies? Dr. Johnson looked sad. Social services would have to get involved. She would probably go to foster care. Marcus thought about Sophia and foster care. She would be separated from the only family she had left. She would live with strangers. She might never see the photos of her parents again. Is there any way to prevent that? Marcus asked. Only if there is another family member who can take care of her, or if someone adopts her. Marcus had an idea, but he did not say it out loud yet. He needed to think about it more. They moved Maria to a room on the 3rd floor. It was a nicer room with big windows, but Maria was too sick to notice. The medicine made her very sleepy. Sophia sat in a chair next to the bed. She held her grandmother's hand. Sometimes Maria would wake up and look at Sophia. She would try to smile through the oxygen mask. Marcus went down to the cafeteria to get some food. He bought soup, sandwiches, and juice. When he came back, Sophia was still sitting by the bed. You need to eat, Marcus said gently. I am not hungry, Sophia said. When did you last eat? Marcus asked. Sophia thought about it. Yesterday morning. Marcus sat down next to her. Sophia, your grandmother wants you to be healthy and strong. She would want you to eat. Sophia looked at the food. It smelled good. Her stomach made a noise. She was very hungry, but she felt guilty about eating when her grandmother was so sick. It is okay to eat, Marcus said. Eating does not mean you do not care about Abuela. Sophia finally took a bite of the sandwich. It tasted very good. She had not realized how hungry she was. She ate the whole sandwich and drank all the juice. Thank you, she said to Marcus. It was 3 in the morning now. Christmas Day had started. Marcus thought about his own family. They would wake up in a few hours. They would run to the Christmas tree and open presents. They would have a big breakfast and play with new toys. But Marcus did not want to be anywhere else. He wanted to stay here with Sophia and Maria. Sophia, you should try to sleep, Marcus said. I want to stay awake with Abuela, Sophia said. You can sleep in the chair. I will watch Abuela. If anything happens, I will wake you up. Sophia was very tired. She had been awake all night. She had been taking care of her grandmother for weeks. Her small body needed rest. Marcus found some blankets for Sophia. He helped her get comfortable in the big chair. Soon she was sleeping. She looked very peaceful for the first time since Marcus had met her. Marcus sat in the other chair and watched Maria breathe. The oxygen mask made a soft sound. The IV drip made a quiet beeping noise. These sounds meant that Maria was getting the help she needed. Marcus thought about his life. He had a big house, expensive cars, and more money than he could spend. But, until tonight, he had never used his money to save someone's life. He had never felt this good about spending money. He thought about Sophia's parents. They had died trying to give their daughter a good life. They worked hard every day. They loved Sophia very much. Now Marcus was trying to help finish what they had started. A nurse came in to check on Maria. She looked at the machines and wrote notes on a chart. How is she doing? Marcus asked quietly. Her breathing is a little better, the nurse said. The oxygen is helping, but it is still too early to know if the antibiotics are working. Marcus nodded. He would wait as long as it took. At 6 in the morning, Sophia woke up. The first thing she did was look at her grandmother. Maria was still sleeping, but she looked a little better. Her face was not as pale. Good morning, Marcus said to Sophia. Did anything happen while I was sleeping? Sophia asked. The nurse said Abuela's breathing is better. Sophia smiled a little. That is good. Dr. Johnson came in to check on Maria. He listened to her lungs with his stethoscope. He looked at her charts. He seemed pleased with what he saw. The antibiotics are starting to work, he said. Her lung sounds are improving. Sophia clapped her hands together. Abuela is getting better. It is still early, Dr. Johnson warned, but this is a good sign. If she continues to improve, she should make a full recovery. Marcus felt relief wash over him. Maria was going to be okay. Sophia was not going to lose another person she loved. Maria woke up a little while later. Dr. Johnson removed her oxygen mask so she could talk. How do you feel? Sophia asked. Better, Maria said. Her voice was still weak, but it was stronger than before. I can breathe easier. The medicine is working, Dr. Johnson said. You are going to be fine, but you need to stay in the hospital for a few more days. Maria looked at Marcus. I do not know how to thank you. You do not need to thank me, Marcus said. Just get better. Why did you help us? Maria asked. Really, tell me the truth. Marcus thought about the question. He had been asking himself the same thing all night. I have been very lucky in my life, Marcus said. I have money, but I never used it to help people. Last night I saw Sophia looking through trash to find money for your medicine. I saw how much she loves you. I realized that my money could save your life. How could I not help? Maria's eyes filled with tears. You are an angel sent by God. Marcus did not feel like an angel. He felt like a man who had finally found his purpose. Outside the window, the sun was rising on Christmas Day. It was going to be a very different Christmas than Marcus had planned, but it was going to be the best Christmas of his life. By Christmas afternoon, Maria was sitting up in bed. She could breathe without the oxygen mask. The color had returned to her face. Sophia was sitting next to her, reading a book that one of the nurses had given her. Marcus had called his wife, Sarah, to explain where he was. She was confused at first. Why was her husband spending Christmas at a hospital with strangers? But when Marcus told her the whole story, Sarah understood. Bring them some Christmas dinner, Sarah had said. And Marcus, I am proud of you. Now Marcus was back at the hospital with bags of food from their Christmas meal. He had turkey, potatoes, vegetables, and pie. He also had presents for Sophia that his children had picked out. What is all this? Maria asked when she saw the bags. Christmas dinner, Marcus said. My family wanted to share it with you. Sophia's eyes got very big when she saw all the food. She had never seen so much food for one meal. In her small apartment, meals were usually just bread and beans. They set up the food on the table in Maria's room. Marcus had brought real plates and silverware from home. He wanted this to feel like a real Christmas dinner. This is too much, Maria said, but Marcus could see she was happy. Sophia tried a little bit of everything. The turkey was tender and juicy. The potatoes were creamy and warm. The vegetables were cooked perfectly. Everything tasted better than anything she had ever eaten. This is the best food in the world, Sophia said. Marcus watched her eat with such joy. At his own house, his children often complained about the food. They said it was boring or they did not like it. But Sophia was grateful for every bite. After dinner, Marcus gave Sophia the presents from his children. There was a doll with long, brown hair. There were books about princesses and animals. There was a warm winter coat that was just her size. Sophia held the doll close to her chest. She is beautiful, Sophia whispered. What is her name? You can name her whatever you want, Marcus said. Sophia thought for a moment. I will call her Hope, because you gave me hope when I thought Abuela might die. Marcus felt tears in his eyes. This little girl had been through so much sadness, but she still believed in hope. Over the next 3 days, Marcus visited the hospital every day. He brought food, books, and games. He also brought his own children to meet Sophia. At first, Tommy and Lisa were shy. They had never met children who lived in poverty. But Sophia was so kind and sweet that they quickly became friends. "Why does Sophia live in that scary apartment?" Lisa asked Marcus later. "Because some people do not have as much money as we do," Marcus explained. "Sophia's parents died, so she only has her grandmother." "That is very sad," Tommy said. "Can we help them?" Marcus smiled. His children were learning to care about others. "Yes, we can help them." Dr. Johnson said that Maria could go home on the 4th day. But Marcus had a problem. He could not let them go back to that cold, dangerous apartment. Maria was still weak from being sick. Sophia needed a safe place to live and go to school. Marcus had been thinking about this problem for days. He had an idea, but he was not sure if Maria would accept his help. "Maria," Marcus said when they were alone, "I want to talk to you about where you will live when you leave the hospital." Maria looked worried. "We will go back to our apartment." "That apartment is not safe," Marcus said. "It is too cold. The heat does not work. Sophia could get sick." "It is the only place we can afford," Maria said sadly. Marcus took a deep breath. "I have a different idea. I own a small house across town. It has 2 bedrooms, a working heater, and a nice kitchen. I want you and Sophia to live there." Maria stared at Marcus. "We cannot afford to rent a house." "You would not pay rent," Marcus said. "You would live there for free." "No," Maria said quickly. "That is too much. We cannot accept such a big gift." Marcus had expected this reaction. Maria was proud. She did not want to feel like she was taking charity. "What if it was not charity?" Marcus asked. "What if you worked for me?" "Worked for you? Doing what?" Marcus had thought about this too. "My wife needs help taking care of our house, cleaning, cooking, laundry. You could do that work. And Sophia could help with small things after school." Maria thought about this idea. Working for the house would not feel like charity. It would feel like earning their home. "How much would you pay me?" Maria asked. Marcus named a fair amount. It was enough for Maria to feel proud, but not so much that she would feel uncomfortable. "And Sophia could go to the school near the house?" "Yes," Marcus said. "It is a very good school, much better than her old school." Maria was quiet for a long time. She was thinking about all the good things this would mean for Sophia. Good food, a warm house, a safe neighborhood, a good school. "Why would you do all this for us?" Maria asked. "Because Sophia saved my life," Marcus said. "Saved your life? How?" Marcus looked out the window. He thought about how to explain what had happened to him. "Before I met Sophia, I thought money was the most important thing in life. I worried about buying expensive things. I never thought about people who did not have enough food or medicine." Marcus looked back at Maria. "When I saw Sophia looking through trash to find money for your medicine, I realized how empty my life was. I had so much money, but I never used it to help anyone. Sophia showed me what real love looks like. She showed me what is truly important." Maria's eyes filled with tears. "You think too much of us. We are just simple people." "You are not simple people," Marcus said. "You are extraordinary people. Sophia is 7 years old, but she has more courage and love than most adults. You raised her to be kind and caring, even when life was very hard." A nurse came in to discharge Maria from the hospital. She had a bag of medicines that Maria needed to take for the next 2 weeks. "Remember," the nurse said, "take all of these medicines, even if you start feeling better, and come back if you have any problems breathing." Marcus paid the hospital bill. It was $23,000. He wrote the check without thinking twice about the money. They drove to the small house that Marcus owned. It was in a quiet neighborhood with tree-lined streets. The house was painted white with blue shutters. It had a small front yard with flowers. "This is your house?" Sophia asked when she saw it. "This is your house now," Marcus said. They went inside. The house was clean and bright. The living room had comfortable furniture and big windows. The kitchen had new appliances and plenty of space for cooking. Sophia ran from room to room. "Abuela, look, there are 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom with a real bathtub." In Sophia's new bedroom, Marcus had put the doll and books he had given her. There was also a desk where she could do her homework. "Do you like it?" Marcus asked. Sophia hugged his legs. "I love it, thank you, thank you, thank you." That night, Maria cooked dinner in her new kitchen. She made rice and beans, but everything tasted better in the beautiful kitchen. After dinner, Sophia took a bath in the real bathtub. She had never had a bathtub before. She played with bubbles and sang songs. When Sophia was sleeping in her new bed, Maria and Marcus sat in the living room. "I still cannot believe this is real," Maria said. "It is real," Marcus said, "and it is permanent. This is your home for as long as you want it." "What if your wife does not like having us work for her?" "Sarah is excited to meet you," Marcus said. "She thinks you and Sophia are heroes," Maria laughed. "Heroes? We are not heroes." "You are heroes to me," Marcus said. "You taught me that the best way to use money is to help other people. You taught me what love really means." Before Marcus left, that night he tucked Sophia into her new bed. The room was warm and safe. Sophia was holding her doll Hope. "Marcus," Sophia said sleepily, "will you visit us tomorrow?" "Of course," Marcus said. "I will visit you every day if you want." "Good," Sophia said, "because you are part of our family, now." Marcus felt his heart fill with joy. He had gained more than he had given. He had gained a new family. He had gained a new purpose in life. He had gained a new understanding of what it meant to be truly rich. As Marcus drove home that night, he thought about how his life had changed. 5 days ago, he was a selfish man who only cared about money. Now he was part of something bigger. He was part of a family built on love and kindness. When he got home, his own children ran to greet him. "Daddy," Lisa said, "can Sophia come play with us tomorrow?" "And can we go see their new house?" Tommy asked. "Of course," Marcus said. He picked up both his children and hugged them tight. His wife Sarah came to greet him too. "How are they settling in?" "Very well," Marcus said. "Maria is going to be a wonderful help to you, and Sophia is going to bring so much joy to our lives." That night, as Marcus lay in his own comfortable bed, he thought about Sophia sleeping safely in her new home. He thought about Maria breathing easily in her warm room. He thought about how one small act of kindness had changed everything. Marcus had learned that true wealth was not about having money. True wealth was about using what you have to help others. True wealth was about love, kindness, and family. Tomorrow would be the first day of their new life together. Marcus could hardly wait to see what the future would bring. 3 months had passed since that snowy Christmas Eve. Spring was coming to the city. Flowers were blooming in the yard of Sophia and Maria's house. Sophia was playing outside with her new friends from school. Marcus stood at his office window, looking down at the busy street below. But he was not thinking about work. He was thinking about how much his life had changed. Every morning now, Marcus stopped by Sophia and Maria's house before going to work. Maria would have coffee ready for him. Sophia would show him her homework from school. They had become his second family. Sarah had been right about Maria. She was a wonderful help around the house. But more than that, she had become Sarah's friend. Maria taught Sarah how to cook traditional Mexican food. Sarah taught Maria how to use the computer. Sophia was doing very well in her new school. Her teacher said she was one of the smartest students in the class. Sophia was learning to read English better every day. She still wanted to be a doctor when she grew up. But the biggest change was in Marcus himself. He had started a program at his company to help poor families. Every month they chose one family to help with housing, medical bills, or education. Other rich people in the city heard about the program and wanted to join. Marcus had also started volunteering at the local soup kitchen every Saturday. Sophia often came with him to help serve food. She was too young to do much, but she loved talking to the people who came for meals. She reminds them that someone cares about them, the soup kitchen manager had told Marcus. Children have a special way of bringing hope to people. One day, Marcus got a phone call at work. It was Dr. Johnson from the hospital. "I have some news about Maria," Dr. Johnson said. "Her latest tests show that she is completely healthy. The pneumonia is gone and her lungs are clear." Marcus felt relief and joy. That is wonderful news. There is something else, Dr. Johnson said. Maria told me about how you helped her and, Sophia, I was so inspired by your story that I started a program here at the hospital. What kind of program? Free medical care for families who cannot afford it. We have treated 15 families so far, all because you showed us that we need to care for everyone, not just people with money. Marcus felt proud, but also humble. He had not meant to start a movement. He had just wanted to help 2 people he cared about. That evening, Marcus went to dinner at Sophia and Maria's house. This had become a weekly tradition. Maria was an excellent cook and Marcus loved spending time with them. I have something to tell you, Marcus said during dinner. Sophia looked up from her plate. What is it? My company is giving me an award next week. They are giving me an award for helping people in the community. That is wonderful, Maria said. You deserve it. But I want you both to come with me to the ceremony, Marcus said, because this award is really for all of us. We did this together. Sophia clapped her hands. Can I wear my pretty dress? You can wear whatever you want, Marcus said. The award ceremony was held at the Grand Hotel. It was the same hotel where Marcus had attended the Christmas party 6 months earlier, but this time felt very different. Marcus wore his best suit. Sophia wore a beautiful blue dress that Sarah had bought for her. Maria wore a simple but elegant black dress. They looked like a real family. Many important people from the city were at the ceremony. The mayor was there. Rich business owners were there. Newspaper reporters were there to write about the event. When it was time for Marcus to receive his award, he walked to the stage, but he did not go alone. He brought Sophia and Maria with him. 6 months ago, I was a different person, Marcus said into the microphone. I thought money was the most important thing in life. I never helped anyone except myself. The audience was quiet, listening to every word. But on Christmas Eve, I met 2 people who changed my life forever. Sophia was 7 years old, looking through trash to find money to buy medicine for her sick grandmother. Marcus looked down at Sophia and Maria standing next to him on the stage. These 2 people taught me what real wealth means. Real wealth is not about having money. Real wealth is about using what you have to help others. Real wealth is about love and family and kindness. The audience began to clap. Some people had tears in their eyes. This award does not belong to me alone, Marcus continued. It belongs to Sophia, who showed me what courage looks like. It belongs to Maria, who taught me about the power of family love. And it belongs to everyone in this room who has chosen to help others. When Marcus finished his speech, the whole audience stood up and clapped for a long time. Sophia and Maria were crying happy tears. After the ceremony, many people came to talk to Marcus, Sophia, and Maria. They wanted to hear their story. They wanted to know how they could help other families too. A newspaper reporter asked Sophia what she thought about Marcus. Marcus is my guardian angel, Sophia said. He saved Abuela's life. He gave us a home. He made us part of his family. I want to help people the way he helped us. The reporter asked Maria the same question. Marcus gave us more than money, Maria said. He gave us hope. He gave us dignity. He showed us that good people still exist in the world. The next day, their story was on the front page of the city newspaper. The headline read, "Rich man and poor girl change each other's lives." But Marcus knew the headline was not quite right. Sophia and Maria had changed his life much more than he had changed theirs. Within a week of the newspaper story, Marcus received hundreds of phone calls. People wanted to donate money to help other families. People wanted to volunteer at soup, kitchens, and shelters. People wanted to adopt children who needed homes. Look what you started, Sarah said to Marcus one evening. They were sitting on their porch watching Sophia play with their children in the yard. I did not start anything, Marcus said. Sophia started it when she decided to look for ways to help. Her grandmother. I just followed her example. Marcus's company had to hire 2 new people just to manage all the requests for help they were receiving. Other companies in the city started their own programs to help poor families. The mayor asked Marcus to lead a new city committee on poverty and homelessness. Marcus said yes, but only if Sophia and Maria could be on the committee too. Why them? The mayor asked. Because they understand poverty better than anyone else, Marcus said. They know what poor families really need. 6 months after the award ceremony, Marcus received another phone call from Dr. Johnson. I wanted to give you an update on our free medical program, Dr. Johnson said. We have now treated over 200 families. And guess what? We have enough donations to keep the program running for the next 5 years. That is amazing, Marcus said. But there is something even better, Dr. Johnson continued. 3 other hospitals in the city have started similar programs. One hospital in another state heard about our program and started one too. Marcus felt amazed. One small act of kindness on Christmas Eve had created a wave of kindness that was spreading across the country. That evening, Marcus sat in Sophia's bedroom reading her a bedtime story. This had become another tradition. Sophia was now 8 years old and could read well by herself, but she still loved hearing Marcus read to her. Marcus, Sophia said when he finished the story, I've been thinking about something. What have you been thinking about? When I become a doctor, I want to work at a hospital that helps poor people for free, like Dr. Johnson's hospital. That is a wonderful goal, Marcus said. And I want to start a program to help children who do not have parents like me when Mama and Papa died. Marcus felt his heart fill with pride. Sophia was only 8 years old, but she was already thinking about how to help others. You will be an amazing doctor, Marcus said, and you will help many people. I learned from you, Sophia said. You taught me that when you have something good, you should share it with others. As Marcus drove home that night, he thought about the future. Sophia would grow up to be a doctor. She would help many people. Maria would continue to be part of their family. She had already started teaching cooking classes to other women in the neighborhood. Marcus knew that his life would never be the same as it was before Christmas Eve, but he was grateful for that change. He had learned that the best things in life were not things you could buy. The best things in life were the people you loved and the people you helped. When Marcus got home, he found Sarah reading in bed. How was bedtime with Sophia? Sarah asked. Perfect, Marcus said. She wants to be a doctor and help poor children. She will be wonderful at that, Sarah said. She has learned from the best teacher. You mean Dr. Johnson? No, Sarah said with a smile. I mean you. Marcus shook his head. I am not the teacher. Sophia is the teacher. She taught me everything I know about kindness and love. That night, Marcus fell asleep thinking about Sophia's dream to help other children. He was already making plans to help her achieve that dream. Maybe they could start a scholarship fund for poor children who wanted to become doctors. Maybe they could build a clinic in Sophia's old neighborhood. The possibilities were endless, and Marcus knew that as long as he had Sophia and Maria in his life, he would never stop learning new ways to help others. 5 years had passed since that cold Christmas Eve night. Sophia was now 12 years old and in 7th grade. She was still the smartest student in her class. Her English was perfect now, and she was learning French too. Marcus stood in the kitchen of the community center that he and Sophia had built together. It was Christmas Eve again, and they were serving dinner to families who had nowhere else to go. The community center was located in Sophia's old neighborhood. It had a medical clinic, a food kitchen, a library, and classrooms where adults could learn job skills. The sign outside read, The Hope Community Center, named after Sophia's doll that she still kept on her bed. Mr. Marcus, a little boy called, out. Can I have more mashed potatoes? Marcus smiled and put another scoop on the boy's plate. The boy reminded him of how Sophia used to be, small and thin, but with bright eyes full of hope. Sophia was across the room, helping an elderly woman fill out forms for free medical care. Even at 12, Sophia knew how to talk to people and make them feel comfortable. She spoke to them in both English and Spanish. Maria was in the kitchen, supervising the cooking. She had become the head cook for the community center. Her food was so good that people came from all over the city just to eat her meals. "How many families are we serving tonight?" Marcus asked one of the volunteers. "About 150, the volunteer said. More than last year. Marcus felt sad that so many families needed help, but happy that they could provide it. The community center served over 300 meals every day. They also provided free medical care, job training, and help with housing. Dr. Johnson worked at the medical clinic 2 days a week. He had never forgotten the night that Marcus brought in Maria and Sophia. He said it had changed his life too. "Marcus," Sophia said, walking over to him, "Mrs. Rodriguez wants to talk to you." Mrs. Rodriguez was a woman with 3 young children. Her husband had lost his job, and they had been evicted from their apartment. They had been staying at a shelter, but the shelter was only temporary. "Mr. Marcus," Mrs. Rodriguez said with tears in her eyes, "Sophia told me that you might be able to help us find a place to live." Marcus had heard this story many times. Good people who worked hard, but life had become too difficult for them, just like Maria and Sophia 5 years ago. "Let me see what I can do," Marcus said kindly. Marcus had bought several small houses in the neighborhood. He rented them to families for very low amounts. He also helped families get jobs and learn new skills so they could eventually buy their own homes. After dinner, Marcus, Sophia, and Maria walked through the neighborhood together. Many of the old broken-down buildings had been fixed up. New streetlights made the area safer. Children played in a new playground that Marcus had built. "Do you remember this street?" Marcus asked Sophia as they passed the place where they had first met. "Of course," Sophia said. "This is where my life really began." They stopped at the spot where Sophia used to look through the trash cans. Now there was a small garden with flowers and a bench. A sign on the bench read, "In memory of all the children who have faced hunger and poverty. May they find hope." "Sometimes I think about that night," Sophia said. "What would have happened if you had not stopped to help us?" Marcus thought about it too. "I think someone else would have helped you. Good people always find a way to help each other." "But maybe not that night," Sophia said. "Maybe Abuela would have died." Maria put her arm around Sophia. "Do not think about sad things. Think about all the good that came from that night." And there was so much good. The Hope Community Center had helped over 5,000 families in 5 years. Marcus's company had started programs in 10 other cities. Other businesses had copied their ideas and started their own helping programs. Sophia had started a club at her school called Kids Helping Kids. The club raised money to buy school supplies for children whose families could not afford them. Last year they had helped 200 children. But the biggest change was still in Marcus himself. He woke up every morning excited about the day. His work had meaning now. Every dollar he made was a dollar he could use to help someone else. His own children, Tommy and Lisa, were now teenagers. They volunteered at the community center every weekend. They had learned that helping others was more fun than buying expensive things. "Dad," Lisa had said to him recently, "I want to study social, work in college. I want to help families like Sophia's family. And I want to be a teacher," Tommy had said. "I want to teach children who come from poor families." Marcus was prouder of his children's goals than he had ever been of his business success. As they walked home from the community center, Sophia told Marcus about her plans for high school. "I want to take all the science classes I can," Sophia said. "Biology, chemistry, physics. I need to know everything if I want to be a good doctor." "You will be the best doctor," Marcus said, "because you understand what it feels like to need help." When they reached Sophia and Maria's house, they sat on the front porch for a while. The house still looked the same as it had 5 years ago, but now it was surrounded by other nice houses. The whole neighborhood had been transformed. "Marcus," Maria said, "I have something to tell you." "What is it?" "Sophia and I have been talking. We want to do something special for the community center." Sophia was excited. "We want to donate money to build a new wing." Marcus was surprised. "Donate money? But where would you get money to donate?" Sophia smiled proudly. "I have been saving my allowance for 3 years, and Abuela has been saving money from her cooking job. We have 2,147. Marcus felt his eyes fill with tears. Sophia was still just 12 years old, but she was already thinking like the woman she would become. She wanted to give back to her community. That is very generous, Marcus said, but you should save that money for your education. We want to build a classroom for little children, Sophia said. A place where children can learn to read before they start school. Many children in this neighborhood do not know how to read when they start first grade. Maria nodded. We want to call it the Sophia and Maria Learning Center. Marcus was amazed. 5 years ago, Sophia had been looking through trash for money to buy medicine. Now she wanted to use her own money to help other children learn to read. Your $2,847 is a wonderful start, Marcus said, but building a classroom will cost much more than that. We know, Sophia said, but we thought maybe other people would want to help too. If we start it, maybe others will join us. Marcus smiled. Sophia understood something that many adults never learned. Big changes start with small acts of kindness. I think that is a beautiful idea, Marcus said, and I know exactly how to make it happen. The next day, Marcus called a meeting with all the donors who supported the Hope Community Center. He told them about Sophia and Maria's plan to build a learning center for young children. A 12-year-old girl who used to live in poverty wants to donate her savings to help other children, Marcus said. How can we not support such a generous heart? By the end of the meeting, they had raised enough money to build not just one classroom, but an entire early childhood education center. It would have space for 100 children, a playground, and a library. When Marcus told Sophia and Maria the news, Sophia jumped up and down with excitement. Really? We can really build it? We can really build it, Marcus said. And it will be called the Sophia and Maria Early Learning Center, just like you wanted. Construction began in the spring. Sophia visited the construction site every day after school. She watched the walls go up and the roof take shape. She helped pick out the colors for the classrooms and the books for the library. On the day the Learning Center opened, there was a big celebration. The mayor came to cut the ribbon. Newspaper reporters came to write about the story. But the most important guests were the children and families from the neighborhood. Sophia, now 13, stood next to Marcus as they watched 25 little children walk into their new classrooms for the first time. The children's faces were full of wonder and excitement. Look at them, Sophia whispered to Marcus. They look the way I felt when I first walked into my new school. You have given them the same gift that education gave you, Marcus said, the gift of hope. One little girl about 5 years old came up to Sophia. Are you the lady who built this school for us? Sophia knelt down to the little girl's level. I helped build it, but really, we all built it together. All the people in this neighborhood built it for you. Thank you, the little girl said, and gave Sophia a big hug. That evening, Marcus, Sophia, Maria, Sarah, Tommy, and Lisa all had dinner together at Marcus's house. It had become a tradition for both families to eat together on special occasions. Have an announcement, Sophia said during dessert. Everyone looked at her expectantly. I have decided what kind of doctor I want to be, Sophia said. I want to be a pediatrician, a doctor for children, and I want to work right here in this neighborhood. That is perfect, Sarah said. This community will always need good doctors. But that is not all, Sophia continued. I also want to start a program to teach other children how to help their communities. I want to show them that you do not have to be rich or old to make a difference. Marcus felt so proud he thought his heart might burst. Sophia had learned the most important lesson in life, that helping others was the key to happiness. You know. What? Marcus said. I think we should start planning that program right now.